6, Larry?
Yep, 6 o'clock.
All right, this is at 6 o'clock. This is the Merrill Festival Grounds Committee meeting. We are in the City Hall Council Chambers. Next item on the agenda is minutes of the previous meeting.
Motion approved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the May 4th, 2023 meeting. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next is agenda items for consideration, fair update. Brad.
Oh, there he is.
Good time.
Brad, you're up.
Oh.
Yep.
Huh. We have nothing new for the fair, actually, and just to add, part of what we're gonna do, we're gonna work with Heather, to the new greenhouse, while working on trying to do stuff to beautify the grounds and stuff like that, so we're gonna work on that. It'll be a couple, as she put it, 3, 4, more to do the project, not be for us. Okay. You know, on the expense of the city, so we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, I think everything is going smoothly.
Good. Rodeo.
We're doing good, we're ready to go.
Ready to go?
We're starting to work Saturday. Ticket sales are on par from years past, if not a little bit ahead. And the advertising we've done in other parts of the state, billboards and stuff, is doing good. We're doing TV too.
The ads on the TV have been plentiful.
Yep, I wish I could see them.
Yeah.
Are you seeing your influx from the Fox Alley for ticket sales, or?
Yeah, I got this is the hot map, ticket sales, and then this is the eastern part of the state. Got ticket sales all going into Texas and out west, and I think that's all due to these billboards that we've been having on those video billboards. And we had she has it on one of these sheets. I think it's on that sheet there. There's 100 or a million and some hits that we get from the billboards for the video advertising. Where if you drive by it, it brings a link up on your cell phone. Yeah, 1.6 million geo advertising.
Good. All right. Looking forward to the event. Calendar of events. We got the list in front of us. Looks like June is filling up pretty good, and July's moving ahead. Anybody have anything to add for the calendar of events?
Is the Christmas tree vendors coming in?
I have not heard.
I think so. The last time I talked to them, they've been very happy. I was not showing up on this one.
That could be verified, so.
No. It's usually in September, though, isn't it? Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I know very good.
They've been really happy with the results of their meetings.
So Tom, you'll check.
I'll check on that, I'll get back to Fred.
All right. Next is continued discussion on promoting the fairgrounds, fireworks at the festival grounds. Update, in the packet I included the Facebook post from the Humane Society and the response after I got a hold of the manager of the Humane Society, her email response back to me. I have asked to be put on the next Humane Society agenda to go down and discuss with them. For this year, the city engineer Akey and Administrator Akey had contact with the fireworks vendor today, or I don't know if it was today, must have been today, called me on it, and they have it all set for, at the mark, the size show and things like that, so, next meeting we'll probably have in here, if we do have it down at the fairgrounds next year, we do have a map of the size shells and how far we need back and things like that, so. Okay. City engineer, he'll be working on that. Then we moving on to campground update.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I was gonna just say, as a kind of a attaboy on the fireworks thing, the fireworks that they have out at the firemen's, Pine River Firemen's picnic is a fairly close proximity fireworks to the parking and the people.
Yeah.
And it's handled impeccably well. So if there's just for future reference.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, we're gonna probably be looking at all different things moving forward. We just gotta work with the Humane Society on this to get this straightened out, because at first, when I called down there, it was no problem, and then that was kind of a change of tune there, so.
And that was something back when we originally, when I was part of the meetings back in the day when we were putting that up, we would not interfere with anything on the grounds. And, well, some of them. So it's kind of disappointing going from one to the other now.
Right.
And, we did get some backlash from the community saying that the city is not looking out for the best interests of the animals. And it's, I know they didn't want people down there, they didn't want the fair down there as well. So, but they also kind of look into consideration. Stands that are operating down there also donate, there's service organizations that donate to the community in addition to the Humane Society.
Right.
So they're biting the hand that feeds them in a sense in that area. So I hope they will foster all the PUD and stuff like that, like the original plan.
Right, that's what they originally said, to foster out, do whatever they needed to do, but like I said, hopefully I'll be able to attend, if not, ask somebody else to attend for me and just kind of figure out what's going. Hopefully their meeting is a time when I can attend myself.
Well, the city used to have a representative on that committee.
Right.
I don't know if you still have an appointment to that. I know Katie Peterson is kind of like a holdover.
Right, yeah, we do not have it right now.
I used to be like,
We should probably look at, right, Candy Peterson was, and then, I think, yeah, you were too,
that
right?
was the original one.
Right. Yeah, I gotta look into that, Tom,
I think that got pulled, I believe when Derek was mayor, he never appointed anybody after Candy.
Okay. Cause I looked through that whole, the list of appointments, and I didn't see one before
Yeah,
that.
we'll find out what happened.
Okay.
Alderman Savaki mentioned it to serve that committee.
I'll second that.
Did you get for not showing up?
All right, moving on to the campgrounds update. Mr. Bjorklund provided us some updated.
I gave updated copies for you.
Yep.
It's like version number 7, so, but, then getting the input from Brad, from Lurch, from Steve, and so updated it each time we do that.
Yep.
And I think got a fairly decent handle on what it could look like for a conservative amount of physical investment. And on this front, I put the front page on there because this is kind of the summary. And I've conservatively estimated at only 10% of the total spaces rentable for that 7-month period.
Okay.
And so, even at only 10% of the rental, of the space rental, we actually would show a profit. Now that does, if that means the capital would have to be paid for. This is the assumption is that this is the capital improvements
Mhm.
required would be paid by the pump use funds.
Right, and I did send an email to the county coordinator last night, asking her for what the procedures are going to be for applying, or if we gotta apply, how it's gonna
Yeah.
work. She did not get back to me as of today, so.
So I think we're probably ahead of the game
Right.
with this in front of us, so I'm not, look, the second page are the assumptions that go into the estimates. The assumption is the season length is a 30-week season. We did a little bit of fall, a little bit of the spring, and the deduct days are county fair, rodeo, and car show, where they would use those spaces but at zero rental.
Right.
Which has always been that way. So that's the potential rental space days is the second assumption. We have assumed $30 fee per day, and that's consistent with everywhere. That we're not above, we're not below. We're consistent with everywhere. The cleanup cost, we've simply guessed at the need to clean up the restroom. That's the only thing that really requires much cleanup. Most campers are pretty responsible about litter and trash. Rarely do you see anything strewn about. And so only on an as-called basis, the same people that have cleaned up after our events in the expo, they would agree to do that, but on an as-call basis, only when needed. Not a guarantee, not anything like that, just as needed.
Which bathroom are you using?
The one up.
A cycle in there with a shower?
No, not the one with the kids shower, no. Because my assumption is that campers, look, they're mainly, most of them are outfitted with a bathroom and a shower. We're just assuming that they may need, there's not a shower in there. There's the only one in the cellar.
Right.
Yeah. The block one. Right, the one where by the
Right.
Casey's thing.
Yep.
Tomahawk has said it's been nice to have a restroom facility for campers at their camp spaces. I'm kind of torn. I don't think they really will use it. To tell you the truth,
The campgrounds I go to, they use them.
yes, okay. All right, so.
And they use a shower as well.
And I think.
Well, we could.
Lurch may be a better, he's the one that kind of said he travels around to different.
Yeah.
Fairgrounds. We can ask him what's available at most of those. Or
Yeah.
Because our campers have a shower.
Well, if
Campers usually only have like a 40-gallon tank.
and we don't have a dump station. We have two dump stations available to us.
Right.
One here in the city and one out on at Friendship House.
But, when you have those, just that little bit, they're gonna want longer showers and stuff like that, nothing that's.
Well, the question would be, do you want to think about opening the cell building bathrooms instead of the one up on top?
Well, that's why I was asking, which one do you really use?
I just assumed the one up on top because it's closer to the campus.
I guess my theory was the one over by with the showers. That was my kind of thought. But
Yeah.
Plus it's smaller and less
Right.
issue to clean up.
Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
And it's easy enough to steer. That's not it. Okay. The ad boards, or we're assuming that there'd be like a 4x8 sheet that would tell what the rules and regulations are, what how to do what they're supposed to do, what not to do. And then a side of it would be for ads, for local businesses that might cater to people that are camping. And I assumed only $100 per ad for 10 ads, and that's $1,000. So that's included in the income protections. It's not a lot of money, but it washes a little bit here, a little bit there, makes a difference.
Yep.
Brad had a great idea about like dwarf poplars along the fence line. And while we were talking, there's the ability to look at them. They're fairly fast growing, and they would block out kind of that opening stuff, like what it boils down to. And we're assuming that there's one end, the end in the middle of at the very end down there, where behind the building, there's a lot of brush in there that'll have to be brush hogged out in there. But I assume we can get that done with people who we have right now. Well, right behind the building, where the building sits at the
County building itself, or?
yeah, the county building there.
So along where the gate is going into the.
Yeah,
that
east of the gate. And then most of it's to try to just tidy up and look decent without a lot of labor, without a lot of brouhaha. The ash pit containers, our recommendation would be one or every 2 spaces to put like a concrete culvert, maybe this deep, maybe 2 or 3 feet around, up close to the fence line for ash and kind of like what they do. Yeah, what they do at Lambeau and Miller Park, but on a smaller scale basis. And then also having a fire pit, enclosed fire pits, but we would chain them to that concrete, so they don't walk into the street.
I think this is a good start to, when the county is ready, we can present our, this proposal to them.
And this, should I send it? I could send a copy of this in Word format around to the committee members, so that being in Word format, we can make changes easily. Like I said, this is version 7.
Right.
So there's no pride of authorship in here, so long as we just don't give ourselves a surprise when.
Right.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
How many spots does Tomahawk have at Bradley Park, and how full are those up there?
I don't know the number of spots, but they are at capacity.
Throughout the summer?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
100% capacity. And so that alone should spill to us. And in the conversations, I've had number of conversations with the Tomahawk people. They're very, very friendly. And how can we help you? What can we do to send you our overage? So there's not a hesitation.
I think it was last year, there was posts on Facebook all the time looking for a place to camp, and close to during the Harley stuff. And
What does Campgrounds charge for it?
30.
Okay.
Actually, that's pretty hard up there, that one campsites. So we have to send them over to Jack Lake. Campgrounds.
Anything else?
Iowa State Fair camp has 800 campers, public campers, that go on. Of course, they got like 1,000 acres.
All right. We'll move on to
I'll go right into the quad meeting that we had. Several things came out of that. I can't speak highly enough of the Tim English family and what they've done, how they've done it. everyone in this room helped by being at that meeting to go over what their expectations are for using the dirt, how to use it, what not to do. You know, it'd be really serious if we wound up with, 3 tons of clay mixed in with that rodeo dirt. So the rodeo guys got with them, the fairground, the state fair, county fair guys got with them. The mayor was there, and their entire family they were stunned at how much support that they were getting just from this group. And they, in fact, volunteered to help you guys put up fence line. So far, we couldn't ask for a better newcomer. And they're just first category. And the 365 Motorsports out there is their main sponsor, and they're talking about the potential for motorcycle type event at a different date, a different year. So with first things first, quad racing first, and we'll go from
Yeah, sounds good. Anything else to add?
there. Those are the auction is getting more dates now again with Krista. That old dog Arnie, for 85 years old, I'm telling you, he's just unreal. He's getting more dates, and he'll be doing more in that building. The weddings are lining up like crazy. So far there's not been one wedding that's shown up that hasn't said, we like it, we'll rent the building. So it's not one that said no. So we're kind of on a roll. I think that I have to kind of be careful when you say that. As soon as you do, something happens, it bites you.
All right. Lori, next time to make a note to make sure we put the permanent stands.
I know.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry, Beth. Okay, I have nothing.
All right. Public comment period. Go ahead. Please state your name and address.
Yeah. I'm Eric Fonts, 5331 Brody Drive, Madison, Wisconsin. So feel free to disregard my comment, but I think the festival grounds is a city park, and to me the parks in town have bathrooms that are accessible, and I think the restrooms at the festival grounds should be open too, because I know that I wouldn't like to come back to a community where I soiled my pants because the restrooms in the park were closed. So that's just a suggestion.
Established date and time of the next meeting. We have tentatively July 6th, but we have kind of a conflict with that.
Oh, yeah.
Gazebo nights.
No, actually, we're not. It's not September 13th.
Not the 13th, so the 6th will work. Okay, 6th work for everybody.
I can't tell, but that's okay.
Just
I'll be on
submit.
vacation.
Again?
When are you not?
If you have, like, just submit it to Lori. Good. All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second. Anything further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.